Hey, welcome to my spaceship. How's it going? You know they delivered a freaking Taco Bell in space? That's pretty cool, I thought. No way. They gave me 3 fucking quesadillas? But why? But why? Yes, this is the Apex part of the game stream. Hi. You while eat my space cheese. Oh. That makes everything look all weird. Never mind. So, no guitars tonight. I don't have that down here. Down in the basement. That was rough. Hey, what's going on, Zoom? Zoom, did you get to see the intro they made? It wasn't very productive, but I got some stuff done. Like this, I made this new intro. I want to play this for you. Hey. I'm proud of that intro, even though it has a watermark. Oh. It's saucy. Saucy! Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so good. Cheers, everybody. Oh, man. Got my devil's USB sticks here. Woosah. Shoot, maybe I should run upstairs and grab my guitar. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. Paste. Come join me on the spaceship thingy. Come join Bridge Crew. We have Taco Bell. You gotta be careful when you're eating these quesadillas though in space. Your artificial gravity goes off, and your steaks can go just out in nowhere. Ah. Man. Fine, I guess I'll do this. Ah. Where's my no, no. There it is. The Perry show. Here, we're gonna play around this button thingy. Make a song. I like it. Nope. I don't like it. Put your hands up. I'm still working on it. We're just making this all up on the fly as we go. Let's look at all this good button stuff. It's fun though. Let's see if I can wind this down. There you go. Yeah. That was actually pretty tight. I liked how that turned out. Oh, screw you, Loot Maker. You weren't fun. I had to pay for. Ooh. Man, all these good ones I want to buy, but can't. Are you ready for the next one? That's not the right thing. We'll do drum and bass after this next one. I'm looking for a certain thing. It's gotta be in the house. Yeah. Welcome into the game. We turn this into a club. Thanks. No, Clays, nobody wants to become famous or buy followers. Stop being a little cuck and stop buying followers. Get them naturally. Buying followers is cheating. Oh, man. Oh, that's why. That's hilarious. They gave me okay. So when I went to Taco Bell, I put in an order for 2 quesadillas, 1 chicken, 1 steak. They gave me 2 steak and 1 chicken. So apparently I got an extra one in there somewhere. So yeah, that's a fun app. Ugh. Man, I really don't have anything to talk about right now. I just kind of wanted to get things started up, but I don't know. Come on up, guys. You got why do you have 3 Twitch streams going? Good sir, that's like too many. See, I want people to come up here because underneath me, we've got this awesome background. I want it to come show up. I'm going to remove myself so that y'all can see the background. I thought it was cool. Jungle Techno stream. What? See, it's flat. I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure I saw a curve. Yep. There's a curve. I had to double check, but I'm pretty sure. No one saw that fail. Man. So wait, if you touch the screen while you're watching porn and there's a guy's dick on there, does that make you gay? Because by that same logic, I'm just saying. Oh my gosh. Is it? Oh, dude. Oh, no. I do have to go back upstairs. I forgot a lighter. So there's that. Yep. I'll be right back. May as well take trash out with me. I gotta go. Oh, excuse me. Oh, freaking Taco Bell. Hey, quietly, what's up? Y'all gonna watch this while I go upstairs. Give me just a second. I'm coming back. I almost made it. I don't like the fact that there's a watermark. Oh gosh. Whew. Give me a sec. Ha! I'm freshly baked. Nothing says loving like something from the oven. I'm not going to do that ever again. Fucking popping fresh. Oh. Oh man. Guys, there is an explanation for everything. Aliens. Is the answer to all the problems. I like me some drum and bass. Get that D&B going. Right? Fucking aliens, man. No, it's weird. I kind of have the little smirk that he does too. Aliens. Oh, no, no. What the aliens brought to the human race was dubstep. Maybe that was the cyborgs. I'm not sure. Nope, I didn't notice. Who knows? That may be the case. Oh, that was dumb. Well, oh, oh man. Oh. Yeah. Oh, so I got this idea. I'm gonna take a box and my tripod over here, and I'm gonna make it so that I can put a microphone inside of the box, and then line the box with foam or egg cartons or something, and make a little mini, like recording booth. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know if you heard Skull, but apparently one of Google's top AI engineers is really, really concerned about us getting close to hitting the singularity. That point where I guess where technology gets so advanced that it threatens the human race. Yeah. We're legit about to have some Terminator shit going down with Skynet and all that. Man, I think it's getting bigger. I'm not sure the weird spot is. Welcome to the jungle. Ah, there it is. Get out of there. Oh man. So it's a slow night tonight. I mean, it is Sunday, so there is that. Right, it feels so late, but it's really not. It's only just now 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Somebody come up. Let's talk some cosmic shit. Let's talk some space stuff. It's not 9:30. It's 9:05. It's okay, Skull. You're allowed to make a mixer while on stream. Oh man, see, I had to get away from eating all the pies and stuff. I was gaining a lot of weight. It is not Salty Sunday. It is Cosmic Surfing Sunday. And don't you ree at me. I fire in the bowl. We're going with some Fire OG. Brought to you by Sausage Cream Biscuit Farms.com. I'm ringing with you, not at you. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's cool, Wild Bill. No worries, bro. You just need for the aliens to come down and zap your phone so you can get some battery power. I think that's how that works, right? The aliens come down and recharge the androids? Yeah, that sounds about right. Meow. That'd be funny. Just like the Brady Bunch amount of people up here on the stream just ring for it's so loud. Not those aliens. They like to poke things in places they're not allowed to go. Let me tell you a tale. Man. Is it too early for the blueberry? Might be too early for the blueberry. Re. Yes. Oh, it tastes so good. It actually legitimately tastes like blueberries. Actually, almost like a blueberry muffin. That's pretty good. Cool, buddy. I found the lost Dutchman's treasure. I do not. I found the lost Dutchman's treasure. 1 gold doubloon. Plastic. Oh God! Now I got that SpongeBob episode going through my head. Thought I had real pies? No real pies. No. Why so serious? I don't know. Man, without my guitar, I just don't know what to do. I might have to run back upstairs and grab that. Huh, maybe. Type 1 in chat if you want me to get my guitar. Type 2 if no. Ooh, I used to not play that. We got one. We got one. Oh, I have to grab it here in a sec. I gotta digest all that Taco Bell. What's going on, Skull? Is it still alive?
You know, who's believable for whatever reason, and whatever they look at and deform it, and in crazy ways. You can bend it in half, like completely, like
yes, you know, alien scientist.
And then you heat it back up again to this secondary austenite temperature. It will bounce back into its original state. It's kind of like a hysteresis curve. That's why I have the hysteresis up, because it's very similar to a hysteresis.
Right on.
You heat it up into this transformation state, and as you approach it, you don't have to quite get there. It will reverse back.
Yeah, he's doing
to its other states.
One right now on UAP crash recovery programs.
And it actually, the way that it works physically on
hey, Jimmy, they never called me back, bro. Like, I thought it was a guaranteed job. They were going to call me the next day. Well, nope.
Actually, these two metals in the solid phase that link together on the atomic level to form, these kind of like chains or a grid.
I'm going to throw a big old "Let's Go Brandon" out there.
Like a 3D kind of chain mail. That's
and give my double finger salute to the presidency currently.
And flex it, and then when you heat it back up, it just it bounces back into this original this state that it remembers.
Yes. Currently, they're talking about
they can actually get forces out of it.
Like when Roswell happened this up and the debris was collected, there were stories of metal that you could like crumple up and it would just come back out into a flat sheet, like nothing ever happened. That's what they're currently talking about here.
And so there's a very limited range that's in this that you can actually get nitinol.
Schmitty thing to do.
And it's interesting. These
I see
first
you
progress
there.
reports. I don't know if this is the actual one. Yeah, it is. So the first progress report, they had just tried to find ways to make pure titanium and stuff. The second progress report was the more interesting one, and it turns out that we looked up a number of the scientists, the metallurgists who worked at Battelle during that time, and there's a number of interesting individuals that.
It's true. It's true. That's got to be the reason, Bill.
Research chemist and metallurgist at the University of Michigan, and he authored a number of papers on, titanium and metallurgy of titanium.
Yeah.
He worked for Battelle with a number of.
I mean, I guess you can only use the hand puppet so many times, right?
Stuff.
Before things just get all loose.
E.J. Center told his family members that he was given a piece of this memory foil to work on one day at Battelle, and some interesting. He was discovered as
memory
the
foil.
author of this 1949.
That's what they're
Battelle
calling
report,
it now.
which is the second progress report on the second progress report right here. So let me post this in the description. The nitinol wire wasn't officially discovered. If you look up nickel titanium, it wasn't discovered until 1959. Okay, the official history. Naval Ordnance Laboratories discovered it in 1959. And this guy, William J. Bueller, just happened to be searching for
that's hilarious.
Alloys.
They're gonna start banning you for what's good, Brandon. We tried to be nice.
Because he was looking.
We legitimately tried to be nice, and make it a funny thing, and make it family friendly. But nope, we gotta go back and say fuck Joe Biden because apparently we can't cheer on our favorite NASCAR driver anymore. Let's go, Brandon. Can I get a fuck Joe Biden? Fuck Joe Biden!
But so it's been known since like 1932.
Did you skull?
That things could have this property, but why they would be looking specifically at titanium and why it took
I'm gonna put hey skull
this long,
LOL.
From 1932 to 1959 to discover this. It's very interesting. This is an issue of debate that I'm still going over with the hardcore science of this.
So it says weed cures all.
Interview with these guys. I think Bueller and Lang are
yes.
Gone. They're around
weed
but
cures all.
Nickel titanium is nitinol stands for nickel
Fire.
Titanium Ordnance Laboratory, which that's where it was discovered in 1959. But we have this second progress report from Battelle, right, written for Wright-Patterson in 1949. So 1949.
All right, skull.
And in it, they have this massive effort that.
Where are you? Oh, it's racist.
Purifying titanium.
There you are, skull.
Welding process.
I found you.
And it creates this titanium sponge. Look up a video on this. I've covered this a little bit before, but they you can look up purifying titanium. This is arc welding.
I'm everywhere. Lord Skull's razor is omnipotent. There's apparently a lot of there's like a lot of activity around what was it, Mount Rainier over Washington, and then what was the other ones? I can't remember. I think that was the main one. Was Mount Rainier over Washington, which I believe is a dormant volcano. I think. I could be wrong. Well, Zoom. They're reptilians. They like it hot. That's that inner Earth thing. Down the volcano caverns. Lava shoots. Now, something that I found very interesting is under the I believe it was the Temple of the Sun at the Chichen Itza ruins. They found a river or of some sort of just pure mercury, like flowing mercury or something like that. Which I guess would kind of make sense if the pyramids were a conduit or a beacon to out there. That would be a good power source, I guess. Just a thought.
Alloy, like the Roswell debris, some unusual markings and some of the stuff that he had. If you read this paper by him,
the Moonanites are real.
Alloys here.
They've got Moonawana.
He developed this chlorine carbon tetrachloride method where they dissolve.
I know, right?
Of this stuff.
Aliens need your DNA. Yes, they do. They need. Well, that is true. If what's being said about Eisenhower meeting with a group of aliens and making a pact or contract for them to hybridize the human race. That would lead credence to that.
10 years, 49 to 1959, when officially created at Naval Ordnance Laboratories, that they had spent 10 years trying to reverse engineer exactly how to do this. And I'm going over the science of this stuff.
Supposedly, the graves don't have any genitalia. It's rumored that the little tiny graves, because apparently there's some taller graves that are actually biological, but the tiny, like little 3 foot, 3.5 foot tall grave aliens, supposedly those are like biomechanical, like half robot, half biological entity. At least that's what people are speculating. I don't know how true that is. Yeah. I can't remember. I think isn't there like some town? I think it might be Mercury, Nevada, that you can't actually drive through because it's part of like base housing for some, like I think it's either base housing for Area 51 or for the Nellis Air Force, the range out there. I can't remember what it is.
So logically, from chemistry standpoint,
it's true. We got. Hang on a sec. See, and that was the running joke at the Storm Area 51 thing. We just wanted to clap some alien cheeks.
Example.
But
Mix it with some thermite.
is that?
Fire,
Oh,
it reacts. Chlorine.
that's kind of cool.
And then they measure all the
No, can't be. Alien is jealous because Biden. No. Hell, I would take an alien overlord over freaking over Biden.
And this is
when they land in the White House lawn and say, "Take us to your leader," we're just gonna be like, "What leader?"
I thought it was super, interesting. This very complex stage, multi-stage.
Watch, it's gonna turn out that there's gonna be some species. You heard the Greys get high from Lysol in their skin.
Yeah, curious cases are
Now, where did you hear that one?
This is the stuff we'll be talking about, I think. Get the conversation.
See, I think there might be some. I actually want to agree with you there. I feel like there might be some sort of intelligent life out there that might have embraced cannabis a long time ago as a healing property. You have to.
Sorry, I had my mute button. I don't buy the Roswell story. Neither do I buy.
Is that how it works, Skull? Okay.
For quite a while. Well, for years. And presently, I'm
Yeah.
that it was an event. In my book, I propose a possibility that it was our first attempt at manned spaceflight. And
Oh man. See, it's speculation, Skull. I don't know either. I've never met a Gray.
Yeah, it started at Ames Research Labs.
Oh, my neck feels so much better now. Oh. See, one thing I'm not completely sold on is there's a group, there's a subgroup over here in the UFO community that says that we are the aliens are us, as a like time traveler us. I'm not so sure. I'm not convinced. I'm not wearing the appropriate glasses for this stream. There we go. Now I'm wearing the appropriate glasses. Oh man, no Big Red for you. No red cream soda either.
We're the Aero Med Lab too, right?
Oh yeah, my dad was
Pine Sol makes you sweat. Ooh. Are you allergic to it, Ghost? Swedish Fish. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. There's Red 40 and Swedish Fish. That sucks. Swedish Fish are delicious. So, do you think that here's a question? Let me pose this question to the chatters really quick. Do you think that the Nazi scientists knew more than what they let out in Project Paperclip? Like, do you think that they were really working on anti-grav and all that in the 1940s?
So talk about now we have to consider brainwaves, and I want to point out the shimmering light that I think it's necessary for me, someone in my position specifically, to look at all
Nazis had alien technology. Yeah, I think so too. I think they were trying to reverse engineer that stuff.
I consider, other possibilities within the context of my dad's story and how he told me what he was told about Roswell. So I
don't even say it, Skull. No, Project Paperclip or Operation Paperclip. It was when it was right at the end of World War II. When we took all the Nazi scientists, or at least the rocket scientists and stuff, and the chemists. So we took their physicists too. So there were them. The Russians got a lot though too. Like they ended up getting a lot of defector.
Soviets were testing bombs and what level of radiation. So the balloon thing did.
I know how you read in that.
Even that would not explain the reasonable things that we've heard about Roswell.
Yeah, these intelligence officers had probably seen weather balloons there.
Do what? What was that? Stop.
Right. These stories of the, June Crane, who worked as a secretary in the office, saying that the guy came in.
What did you see?
Spaceship. This memory foil. So many people talking about that memory foil and these super materials.
I do have an issue though with, I have no animus against him.
Marcel.
Well, yeah, when Marcel says he would have known. He did that classic thing
Why?
with David Fravor, Commander Fravor.
Yeah.
If it was ours, I'd have known it. It's like, I'm sorry, I beg to differ with you. I don't think Jesse Marcel, all due respect, would have known everything that was being.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
Same thing with Fravor. I have that issue as well. It's like,
exactly.
How do you know?
Unless you're involved with these
that's what
projects.
I asked D.D. Barnes about it. He said, Fravor, I'm like, what do you think about? What would you tell Fravor?
You think so, Ghost?
He'd say that we got some stuff that that's really good at spoofing. That you got spoofed. That's what I tell him.
Oh yeah.
And it's.
That's right. You were talking about that.
Shake my head and just want to. It's ego driven. They may not see it as ego driven, but it is ego driven. I'll be the first to tell you. there's a heck of a lot more out there I wasn't briefed in on than I was. That's the truth for just about anybody, even on a level where you're getting briefed in on stuff, because we all know the compartmentalization and need to know have been a major part of all this.
Zoom, you like them creepypastas too.
So,
Nice.
That's really worked there, like Barnesville. Anybody that's really worked around that world knows how difficult it is for these people to make statements like that. But the problem with statements like that is people look, oh, this guy was an officer, this guy was this. And so,
pilot, man, he's well decorated.
yeah.
I'm not sure.
So everything he says is going to be accurate and true.
Here. Where is it?
Hey, it's me.
We're gonna listen to it. We're gonna listen to a creepypasta.
They help restore my natural barrier.
Oh, Kecksburg. Yeah, no, that was the reappearance of the Glocke, or the Nazi bell. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. We're gonna listen to a creepypasta.
You know Cossacks who could sleep in the saddle, who call the others just passengers on a horse. The old man tells them what old men who can ride can do to beat Hitler.
Russian city after the other was overrun by the invaders. By summer of 1942, new posters were appearing in the streets of Moscow. Posters that greeted and welcomed their allies whose help was already arriving in Russian ports.
Russian researchers in the late 1940s kept 5 people awake for 15 days using an experimental gas-based stimulant. They were kept in a sealed environment to carefully monitor their oxygen intake so the gas didn't kill them, since it was toxic in high concentrations. This was before closed-circuit cameras, so they only had microphones and 5-inch thick glass porthole-sized windows into the chamber.
I really, truly wonder if this creepypasta is based off of true events.
Cots to sleep on, but no bedding, running water and toilets, and enough dried food to last
You guys hear it all right?
over a month. The test subjects were political prisoners deemed enemies of the state during World War II. Everything was fine for the first 5 days. The subjects hardly complained, having been promised, falsely, that they would be freed if they submitted to the test and did not sleep for 30 days. Their conversations and activities were monitored, and it was noted that they continued to talk about increasingly traumatic incidents in their past, and the general tone of their conversations took on a darker aspect after the 4-day mark. After 5 days, they started to complain about the circumstances and events that led them to where they were, and started to demonstrate severe paranoia. They stopped talking to each other and began alternately whispering to the microphones and one-way mirror portholes. Oddly, they all seemed to think they could win the trust of the experimenters by turning over their comrades, the other subjects in captivity with them. At first, the researchers suspected this was an effect of the gas itself. After 9 days, the first of them started screaming. He ran the length of the chamber repeatedly, yelling at the top of his lungs for 3 hours straight. He continued attempting to scream, but was only able to produce occasional squeaks. The researchers postulated that he had physically torn his vocal cords. The most surprising thing about his behavior is how the other captives reacted to it.
Okay.
Or rather, didn't react to it. They continued.
You might have to tell me about the Turkestan Revolution.
The second of the captives started to scream. The 2 non-screaming captives took the books apart, smearing page after page with their own feces and pasted them calmly on the glass portholes. The screaming promptly stopped. So did the whispering to the microphones. After 3 more days passed, the researchers checked the microphones hourly to make sure they were working, since they thought it impossible that no sound could be coming with 5 people inside. The oxygen consumption of the chamber
Right.
indicated that all 5 must still be alive. In fact, it was the amount of oxygen 5 people would consume at a very high level of strenuous exercise. On the morning of the 14th day, the researchers did something they said they would not do to get a reaction from the captives. They used the intercom inside the chamber, hoping to provoke any response from the captives they were afraid were either dead or vegetables. They announced, "We are opening the chamber to test the microphones. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor or you will be shot. Compliance will earn one of you your immediate freedom." To their surprise, they heard a single phrase in a calm voice respond, "We no longer want to be freed." Debate broke out among the researchers and the military forces funding the research. Unable to provoke any more response using the intercom, it was finally decided to open the chamber at midnight on the 15th day. The chamber was flushed of the stimulant gas and filled with fresh air, and immediately voices from the microphones began to object. 3 different voices began begging, as if pleading for the life of loved ones, to turn the gas back on. The chamber was opened, and soldiers sent in to retrieve the test subjects. They began to scream louder than ever, and so did the soldiers when they saw what was inside. 4 of the 5 subjects were still alive, although no one could rightly call the state that any of them in life. The food rations past day 5 had not been so much as touched. There were chunks of meat from the dead test subjects' thighs and chest stuffed into the drains in the center of the chamber, blocking the drain and allowing 4 inches of water to accumulate on the floor. Precisely how much of the water on the floor was actually blood was never determined.
Hey Timo, what's up? Welcome in. We're listening to the creepypasta, the Russian sleep experiment.
Torn away from their bodies. The destruction of flesh and exposed bone on their fingertips indicated that the wounds were inflicted by hand, not with teeth as researchers initially thought. Closer examination of the position and angle of the wounds indicated that most of it, if not all of them, were self-inflicted.
They were pulling chunks of flesh off their body with their hands. What the hell?
The skin and most of the muscle attached to the ribs had been ripped off, exposing the lungs through the rib cage. All the blood vessels and organs remained intact, but they had been taken out and laid on the floor, fanning out around the eviscerated but still living bodies of the subjects.
They're zombies.
Tracks of all 4 could be seen to be working, digesting food. It quickly became apparent that what they were digesting was their own flesh that they had ripped off and eaten over the course of the days.
That's not cannibalism. Is it? What is that?
Russian special operatives at the facility.
What is it if you eat yourself?
Returned to the chamber to remove the test subjects. They continued to scream to be left in the chamber, and alternately begged and demanded that the gas be turned back on, lest they fall asleep. To everyone's surprise, the test subjects put up a fierce fight in the process of being removed from the chamber.
The heck?
Russian soldiers died from having his throat ripped out. Another was gravely injured by having his testicles ripped off, and an artery of his legs severed by one of the subject's teeth. Another 5 of the soldiers lost their lives if you count ones that committed suicide in the weeks following the incident. In the struggle, one of the 4 living subjects had his spleen ruptured and he bled out almost immediately. The medical researchers attempted to sedate him, but this
is
impossible.
nuts.
He was injected with more than 10 times the human dose of a morphine derivative and still fought like a cornered animal, breaking the ribs and arms of one of the doctors. When the heart was seen to beat for a full 2 minutes after he had bled out to the point where there was more air in his vascular system than blood. Even after it stopped, he
See, I seriously, I wonder
3 minutes, struggling
how
to
much
attack
of this is
anyone
based
who
off of
injected
the true
repeated
story.
blood more over and over, weaker and weaker, until
I mean, if the Russians back then could
surviving 3
behead a
subjects
dog
were heavily restrained
and
moved
then
to a medical
keep
facility,
everything alive
intact vocal cords
through,
continuously
you know,
begging for the
a
gas
process of
and to be
machines,
kept awake.
reattach, and the dog will still lives an extra like 5-6 years after. What? Surely they could have done something like this.
Placed back within his body, it was found that he was effectively immune to the sedative they had been given him to prepare him for the surgery. He fought furiously
Yes,
against
yes,
the
it is.
restraints when the anesthetic gas was
Shout out to
he managed to tear most of the way through a
who is
4-inch
this?
wide leather strap on one wrist, even through
Creeps
the weight of a
McPasta.
2-pound soldier
Yeah.
that wrist as well. It took only a little more anesthetic than normal to put him under, and the instant his eyelids fluttered and closed, his heart stopped. In the autopsy of the test subject that died on the operating table, it was found that his blood had tripled the normal level of oxygen. His muscles that were still attached to his skeleton were badly torn, and he had broken 9 bones in the struggle to not be subdued. Most of them were from the force his own muscles had exerted on them. The second survivor had been the first of a group of 5 to start screaming. His vocal cords destroyed, he was unable to beg or object to surgery, and he only reacted by shaking his head violently in disapproval when the anesthetic gas was brought near him. He shook his head less when someone suggested, reluctantly, that they try the surgery without anesthetic, and did not react for the entire 6-hour procedure of replacing his abdominal organs and attempting to cover them with what remained of his skin. The surgeon proceeding stated repeatedly that it should be medically impossible for the patient to still be alive. One terrified nurse assisting the surgery stated that she had seen the patient's mouth curl into a smile several times whenever his eyes met hers. When the surgery ended, the subject looked at the surgeon and began to wheeze loudly, attempting to talk while struggling. Assuming this must be something of drastic importance, the surgeon had a pen and paper fetched so the patient could write his message. It was simple. Keep cutting. The other 2 test subjects...
Yeah, it's like zombies to me too.
Without anesthetic as well, although they had to be injected with a paralytic for the duration of the operation. The surgeon found it impossible to perform the operation while the patients laughed continuously. Once paralyzed, the subjects could only follow the attending researchers with their eyes. The paralytic
Nuts.
cleared their system in an abnormally short period of time, and they were soon trying to escape their bounds. The moment they could speak, they were again asking for the stimulant gas. The researchers tried asking why they had injured themselves, why they had ripped out their own guts, and why they wanted to be given the gas again. Only one response was given. I must remain awake. All 3 subjects' restraints were reinforced and they were placed back into the chamber, awaiting determination as to what should be done with them. The researchers, facing the wrath of their military benefactors for having failed the stated goals of their project, considered euthanizing the surviving subjects. The commanding officer, an ex-KGB, instead saw potential and wanted to see what would happen if they were put back on the gas. The researchers strongly objected, but were overruled. In preparation
Of course.
for being sealed in the chamber again, the subjects were connected to an EEG monitor and had their restraints padded for long-term confinement.
Less invasions, more equations.
The moment it was let slip that they were going back on the gas. It was obvious that, at this point, all 3 were putting up a great struggle to stay awake. One of the subjects that could speak was humming loudly
All right.
continuously. The mute subject was...
Sorry, I'm turning that off. We're gonna have some. No, you go away, TikTok.
Bitcoin.
Nobody
The best
wants
money
you.
you've ever had. With a different kind of money comes a different kind of card.
Fire in the bowl, everybody.
We want to feel comfortable saying it, not ashamed and guilty.
We're excited about marijuana. Marijuana pleases us, and as the title of the show suggests, we're here to talk about marijuana.
We're here to think about it, to hear stories about it, to learn about it, to understand it, to buy it. And by it, we mean
Marijuana.
We worry about marijuana. We worry about what people think
Go on,
of
Just
marijuana
James.
users.
Fire in the bull, bro.
We worry about getting caught with marijuana. But mainly, we worry about getting more marijuana.
You've got to know a guy to get marijuana. We worry that something could happen to the marijuana guy. We worry that we'll have to get a new marijuana guy. What if he's not as cool? What if he doesn't answer our page when we need him? What if his mother doesn't know where he is?
yes, we have over 43 years of experience with
That would be fun to
marijuana.
see. There's one.
2023. But that wasn't enough. We must learn everything about our subject. So we found out what other marijuana smokers had to say about marijuana. And we talked to young marijuana smokers, old, black, Jewish, handicapped, albino marijuana smokers.
We talked to
Albino.
rich, homeless, gay, and even Chinese marijuana smokers.
And it took a long, long time, because once you get a marijuana smoker talking, they never shut up.
Most people have nicknames for their friends, and marijuana must have a lot of friends because she is a mistress who goes by many names. She's also known as pot, weed, ganja,
KGB, the Krush, Hash's cousin Mary.
Bud, jazz plants, Lando Calrissian.
hemp, grass, El Diablo de Verde.
Oh no, I'm all blurry.
Kermit the Hogleg.
Oh,
Dr. Phil, my pipe.
Mr. T, HC.
Ah,
Sticky Icky Icky. Jean-Claude Van Amsterdam.
My only real friend. Your Highness. Harry Potter.
Henry VIII. The reason I don't own a house. Mother Nature's way of saying hi.
Marijuana.
Cheers.
This marijuana log is called Screw You Copper, You Fat Piece of Crap.
Are you good?
How many people here think that marijuana should be legalized by applause? Wouldn't it be great if we could legalize marijuana by applause? I think marijuana should be legalized because regular cigarettes that you can buy in any store are worse for you. Every pack has a warning right there on the side. Danger, danger, you smoke these, you're gonna die. You buy pot, it's always in a clear plastic bag with no warning whatsoever.
I
Worst
wonder
case scenario,
if
the
we
guy
do a
selling
movie
it to you will
night.
say something like, "This is really bad shit." Well, alright. That is a warning I can live with.
You know, an unexpected side effect of our research was how it affected us. You know, hey man, I didn't know he smoked pot. For years and years, Arch Barker was high on life. But eventually I built up a tolerance.
The tolerance to life.
Some people think that I use marijuana to hide from my problems, but whatever. That would take a pretty big clump of marijuana for me to actually be able to hide behind it. I don't got that kind of money.
That would be a lot of weed.
Some people think that if you use marijuana for a long time, it affects your ability to reason with maturity. But you know what? The people who say that are a bunch of poo-poo caca pee-pee faces. What they say is what they are. Gosh. The body's a temple, they say. The body's a temple, Arch. A temple, I tell you. Well, that might be true, but I'm not religious. So what I like to do is lease my temple to demons for private parties.
Cheers. Fire the joint.
In researching our favorite drug, we discovered that there is a species out there known as the non-pot smoker. I know. I was like, really? Whatever. Now, we discovered that many of these non-pot smokers, or NPSers, if you will, don't partake because they fear marijuana's alleged side effects. Okay, keyword there, side effects. Short-term memory loss, low sperm count, the third thingy. Listen. What is so great about remembering stuff? I can't think of a thing.
Yes.
I mean, it's such a great memory. Wouldn't it be a long-termer? You know? Like the time I had sex. Boom. Keeper. And low sperm count. Come on. That is just a dastardly falsehood. There aren't any less sperm. They're just running a little late. The little guys are high. You know, they're not that motivated. They're down the balls, hanging out. I don't know, maybe playing.
Skull is Louis Vuitton brand.
I mistakenly left a baggie of pot in my jacket one time when I dropped it off at the dry cleaners. And I had to think long and hard about whether or not I wanted to go back in there and claim that jacket. But it was really good weed. So I decided to go for it. I marched into that dry cleaner and I handed the guy behind the counter my receipt. He pressed that button that makes the big clothes carousel go around. And I could see riding through the store my jacket with the pot pinned to the lapel. It was like my jacket was going to a pot prom. I was so proud. Here's my impression of every ticket holder to the pot prom. Dude, the pot prom was yesterday.
Nice, Skull.
Hemp fiber has many uses, like to make rope and ugly clothes. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for hippies making stuff out of the unsmokable parts, but let's face it, you guys. Hippies tend to make shit for other hippies.
It's a science and
But I have yet to meet a garment that combines the hip look of tie-dye with all the softness of a fucking onion bag. However, I do think it's fantastic that my drug of choice can be worn. You know, you could wear weed. I think that's cool. You know, you can't say that about the other drugs. Let's face it.
Hey, Nightingale.
Really
Welcome
exist.
in. We're listening to the marijuana logs.
I would maybe own hemp clothing, but I know what I'm like when I come home drunk and I'm out of weed. I would smoke my wardrobe. Just like a little bit at first, and I would try to be sneaky about it. But my friends would notice. They'd be like, Arch, didn't that shirt used to have 2 sleeves? Yeah, and a hood. Soon it would be a tank top. Then a week later, it'd be like a tank top, half shirt. Then a fucking man bra, scarf, handkerchief, and finally just an eye patch. I'd be like a pirate. Like, unhand the veggie booty. John Madden NFL for all me mates. Bring out the Xbox. Chips ahoy.
Chips are.
To prepare for this show, we asked people questions about marijuana.
Oh man!
Questions like,
Don't even get me started on that, dude. Dude, Will Cox is such a scam.
So when are you gonna bust that shit out? Here are some of the answers we got to the question: if marijuana could talk, what would it say?
Ow! Ow! Hey! You know the fire coming out of that lighter? It's fucking hot, dude.
I told you, I ain't getting on no airplane.
Psst. Your roommate pinches me when you're not around.
Oh no!
Honey, does this baggie make my buds look fat? Well, look who scraped together $60.
A lot of people smoke pot. A lot of people smoke pot every day. Hey, a lot of people smoke pot and smoke pot every day, probably. Few people are as committed to pot smoking
Yes.
as I am. For I wake and bake. I rise with red eyes.
Oh jeez.
Turn and burn. Pillow and billow. Roust and roast. Raisin toast. OJ and roll J. Puffin muffin. Pancake and bake. Big bowl of raisin bran, big bowl of resin, man. Biz quick and quick, hit this shit. Bush and brush, froth and floss, scope and dope, Listerine and Mr. Green. Mach 3 turbo and pack the Urbo.
Oh no!
Arm and Hammer baking soda and peroxide extra whitening toothpaste and smoke some fucking weed.
Fire in the bowl!
My weed is my village. Arise, sticky green villagers. Big day ahead, meeting at the fire pit. Some of you won't be returning home this evening. But be brave, my nuggets, for the hour of weed is upon us. The time has come, for today we pack the crun at the crack of dawn.
Yes! Freaking love.
Okay, kids, it's time for Get High School. So take off your thinking caps and put on your smoking jackets. Everyone knows when you smoke pot, you get high, unless you got ripped off. But just how does marijuana work? Actually, it's a complex process involving hundreds of chemical reactions. First, the THC, which stands for the high causer.
Yeah, that thing.
This is from a book. First, the THC must enter the bloodstream, which when smoked enters through the lungs, which when eaten enters through the stomach, which when snorted just fucking hurts. Do not recommendo. Once in the bloodstream, the THC acts like a little stony salmon and has to swim upstream into the brain. Inside the brain, there are receptors that are very sensitive to cannabinoids. It's a funny word, huh? receptors. These pot-friendly receptors are identified by their patchouli-like smell. A lot of them drive old vans. They send the THC throughout the nervous system that causes a euphoric effect that is commonly referred to as being stoned, which is not to be confused with having, rocks chucked at you. That'll also fuck you up.
On rare occasions,
Yes.
some people, sad, unfortunate people, have a bad reaction to smoking weed. One young person told her cautionary tale to Jane Magazine, and they printed a line from her story on the cover. Pot made me jump out a window and bite a dog. Now, I never got around to reading the whole article because there is no way that it could be funnier than this one sentence.
That's gotta be some fucking good weed, though, I tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask my pod dealer if he can get a hold of any of that dog biting shit that I heard about.
Doll's getting the munchies.
Hey, Doug,
Yeah.
why are you buying Jane Magazine?
For the 25 hot hair and makeup tips. Would you like to borrow it?
Yeah, I can
Yeah, you would. That's right.
Yes.
Everybody claims that they.
I freaking love Doug Benson. He's hilarious.
To agree. My friend gave me a joint, and she's like, "Arch, you smoke this shit, you're gonna feel like doing something." And I was like, "What?" I always feel like doing something after I smoke weed. Worrying needlessly, and then going to sleep. She's like, "No, Arch, I mean really doing something." And I gotta admit, I smoked it, and immediately I was like, "Fuck yeah! I'm gonna clean the bathroom." And I had the motivation, but what I lacked was the focus necessary to do a decent job. So then I grabbed the little green can, and I sprinkled the white powder, 1 inch thick, on every surface. And then I spent the next 2 hours scrubbing down the entire bathroom with Parmesan cheese. And then the housekeeper walked in, and she said, "What the fuck are you doing? This is a hotel!" I'm trying to help out. Why do you keep Parmesan cheese under the sink? Where the comet ought to be. Because, sir, this is an Italian dairy product themed hotel. Oh, yeah? That's a pretty dumb excuse. Is that the best story you could come up with? Well, sir, I don't write this shit. You do.
Oh, the joke is self-aware.
Okay. Well, that's just about enough out of you, imaginary lady. Come here. I created you with my mind, and I can destroy you thus. What? Oh no. I don't have a god complex. I am God. So you better get your ass in your magic cradle right now. Get in the cradle. Put the blankie up. Go night-night. Go night-night. You go night-night right now. Night-night. Anyway, it was pretty good weed.
I have an actual real-life friend who, for the sake of discretion, I'll call Scott Rasmussen, who blows pot smoke on his cat's face. Why did that not surprise me? To get his cat stoned for free. Which is cool, you know, they don't have money. I mean, not that we're aware of. They may have some sort of string-based economy. They sure love that stuff. But regardless, I think this proves undoubtedly that marijuana is a fairly harmless drug because people will share it with their pets. And you don't see that with the other drugs. I hope. You don't want to go over to your friend's house and he's chasing around the cat with a big syringe. Here, Mr. Scampers! It's China White Heroin, your favorite. Squirt, squirt. You go over to your friend's house and you're like, hey man, what happened to the cat scratching post? He sold it.
This just in. Mr. Scampers has robbed a convenience store. In other news, Berkeley, California has legalized marijuana for medicine. And when I heard about that, I felt sick. Sick with worry, because I don't know what to say to my doctor. What do you say to your doctor so they'll give you that prescription? Well, I don't know, Doc. I mean, lately I've just been feeling really clear-headed and energetic, organized, you know. I mean, I keep getting places on time. Sometimes I set my car keys down and 5 minutes later, I know exactly where they are. I'll be at a party or something and I'll tell a story and it'll not only have an ending, it'll have a point.
Oh gosh.
Is there anything that could help? I don't even know what's available. All I know is lately I watch infomercials, you know, late at night, and for some reason, they're not the most fucking extraordinary thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
If anyone ever ventured out to the infomercials at
I
night.
like watching reality TV shows when I'm baked. And my favorite one is The Real World on MTV. Because season after season, the participants on that show fail to recognize that they're getting a free ride. You know, they get 5 months, all expenses paid, a beautiful house. If I could get on that show, I wouldn't argue with my roommates. I wouldn't make any trouble. I would just sit by the pool all diggity day long, sucking on a giant bong. Because they're not allowed to show drug use on MTV. And they would fuzz out the bong, and then no one watching the program would know what I was doing. Because I'd sit there going, man, I love to play my clarinet. Someday when I get good, it'll make notes instead of the bubbling sounds that emit from it at this time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to practice some more a lot. And there's never going to be a stoner on that Donald Trump show, The Apprentice. Which is a shame, because that'd be so cool, because the stoner would just be like, no, dude, you're fired.
Here's a marijuana fun fact.
Fun fact.
If you had enough marijuana that you could build a house with it, that would be so awesome! That's a fact. Because you'd be like, dude, pack a doorknob. Roll up that fucking hallway. What are you waiting for? The rooms will just be closer together.
In our travels, we discovered that the epicenter of the pot universe is, of course, Amsterdam. It is a wonderful place, filled with a multitude of charms, actually. The windmills, the canals, the great art. My favorite, the tulips. The tulips that I had wrapped around a hash pipe the whole time I was there. Hash is made from the top of the cannabis plant and shaken off and compressed. It's about 8 to 10 times stronger than marijuana. Also, it's fucking sweet. Every year, Amsterdam hosts the Cannabis Cup, where pot connoisseurs from all over the world gather to judge which coffee house has the best products. And let me tell you guys, it is quite a difficult task. These poor judges, they have it tough. For they are forced to sample the weed and hash. Okay, let me back up. Weed and hash from 5 different places every day. And then at the end of the day, cast their vote. This led to the coin.
Would you like to be that judge?
It's all good.
I wanted to study pot smoking in South America. So after weeks and weeks of planning, I finally made the journey to Blockbuster Video. There, I rented the movie Alive, a delightful little comedy. A plane crash of a Uruguayan rugby team in the Andes Mountains. It's actually a horrifying movie, and I do not recommend you watching it when you're high, because it'll freak your shit out. But I still couldn't help thinking while I was watching it that it would have been a much shorter film if they'd had a bag of weed on that plane. You know, because they spend a lot of time in that movie arguing about whether or not they should eat the dead bodies to survive. They spend a good 30 or 40 minutes of screen time sitting in the snow going, I can't do it, it'll taste like person. If they had a choice on that plane, that movie would have been a short. It would have been one quick scene. It would have been like, I want some butt jerky now.
Now.
Ass sickles for all. What sort of wine goes with Paco? Hang on, it gets worse. Hey, who ate all the nuts?
Yes. Yes.
What are you talking about, man? Cutting down on weed is easy. I did it last summer, and I would only smoke pot every other day. I'll admit, on the days in between, I get nervous and anxious, and I didn't know what to do with myself. So I would just come up with activities, constructive projects to take my mind off smoking pot, like making pot brownies. Dude, you don't even know, dude. One day I started to make the brownies by soaking the pot in butter. That takes the THC out of the pot and into the butter, and then you just cook with the butter. I did it for like 2 hours, dude. You don't even know, dude. I had a bucket of pasty green shamrock butter all set to go. And then I realized I didn't have any flour or eggs or chocolate or sugar. Dude, I didn't even have a fucking oven. But I got a bucket of marijuana-laced butter sitting right in front of me. So finally I just said, fuck it. I'll make toast. You don't even know, dude. I ate toast and corn on the cob for the next 7.5 hours. It's one of the best days I can't remember in a long time. I put it on everything. Toast, crackers, on a napkin, just... You don't even know. I'm going to market it. I'm going to call it Country Crop Head Spread. Or Farmer's Choice Marijuana. Or I can't believe it's pot butter.
Oh my God. So who all still listening?
When someone declines my invitation to get high, it's truly a bittersweet moment. Because, part of me feels sad, knowing we could never really be friends. But on the other hand, hey, more pot for me, right? Too much pot. No, never been said. Except maybe when the cops are weighing it. A lot of people don't smoke pot for a variety of valid reasons, all of which are dumbass. Some say marijuana is a crutch. Yeah, crutches help people walk. That's a good thing, I think. Besides, did you know that it's possible to overdose on marijuana? According to the New England Journal of Medicine,
I
you
got
have to
4%
smoke
battery on my phone, so
1,500 pounds of weed in 15 minutes to OD. That's a lot of weed, man. And even then,
I'll just go until my phone
it's not
shuts
the
off.
weed that kills you. It's all that delicious cookie dough.
You know, nothing illustrates America's hypocritical drug policy more than Las Vegas, Nevada. I was talking to a cop there once. They said these cuffs are a little tight. And he told me that if you get caught with any amount of illegal drugs in Las Vegas, you could either be heavily fined or do up to 4 years in jail. And I was like, but isn't this Vegas where gambling is legal? Yeah, lose your car, your house, your life savings, go for it. And you can drink here too, right? All night long? Yeah, it's free. Drink till you puke. We don't care. What if I get horny? Get a hooker. Just whatever you do, don't go to your room alone, smoke a joint, eat a Snickers, and then go to bed without bothering anyone. You see, son, we're trying to clean up Las Vegas. We're trying to make it safe for the drunks who want to gamble and fuck whores all night.
Man, those drunken whore fuckers got some nerve.
Right?
I went to Toronto, Canada for my research, and it's a nice city. It's not exactly a normal city. They got a shoe museum there. Okay, I'll say that again. In Toronto, there's a shoe museum. When I
This
found
is
that
true,
out,
by the way.
I
There
was
is a
troubled.
shoe museum.
Troubled by the shoe museum, the mere presence of which forced me to ask myself one very important question. Would my body be able to handle? Would my body physically survive the amount of marijuana I would need to smoke before entering a fucking museum?
Oh, man.
It's quite easily. Not professional. But now the big question for me is, what are they thinking? I mean, they have a shoe museum, and I just have to accept. I have to say, all right, Toronto, you go. Whatever you want, big guy. Pretty stupid, though. I mean, sometimes it's hard to believe that Canada and the U.S. are even in the same country.
The most common methods of smoking pot are
The bong.
The joint.
and the pipe.
The bong was invented accidentally, by mistake. Alexander Graham Bell invented the bong by accident while trying to invent the telephone on purpose. He meant to speak into it, but he accidentally filled it with water, packed a nugget, and lit it.
The joint is considered perhaps to be the most classic way to smoke weed. In fact, the remains of a partially smoked marijuana cigarette were discovered clutched between the teeth of a skull found in the lower Babudabu Valley, dating back over 2 million BC or some shit. Proving that ancient man not only twisted up some fat papyrus, but that roaches will indeed survive us all.
Truth.
After a long day of not working, I like to come home, curl up by the fire with a good book, smoke some weed, throw the book on the fire, and play some video games.
My girlfriend thinks that I smoke too much pot, which is crazy because I think, on the other hand, that I don't smoke enough pot, because if I did, I would be finished, and I'm not. Look. We all have our vices in life, you know? I like to smoke a little weed. She likes to feed the baby. Different strokes for different folks, I say, huh? I'm like, look, get off my back. Isn't that your baby crying?
Oh, no.
Sorry, our baby. Blow a little weed on it, it'll sleep. Don't hiss. I'm just kidding. Like, I really have a girlfriend. Just a baby. It's weird.
Jesus.
Hey, Dad, you're home early. Oh, shit. All right. You caught me. Right as I was taking a big old bong hit. Oh, you're mad, huh? Okay. Well, let me ask you something, angry father. Were you at my graduation? No, you weren't. Well, guess who was there? Marijuana. How about my bar mitzvah? That was pretty cool. Oh, yeah, you couldn't make it. I remember you had a business trip. Well, guess what? Pot had business that weekend, too. But it came and it did business. That's right. Rabbi Hawadi picked up a quarter.
Yes.
Camping trips. No pots. Plenty of pot, though. Too much pot. Couldn't pitch a tent. Slept under the car. Come to think of it, pot was always there when you weren't. Now you're mad? Well, it's too late, Papa. I don't give a shit. I don't care anymore, man. Sure. You might be my father, but Pop, marijuana is my daddy.
Oh my God.
Linus, can you turn on the light again for a second, please? Thanks. That's a pretty personal piece, and wow, it's a little emotional to do that one. But I just want to mention real quickly, my father doesn't actually know that I smoke pot, so I'd like it to stay that way. And so if you guys could just not say anything, if you ever meet him, just to keep it cool, because you know, if he finds out, he'll kick me out of the house, and I really.
Oh my God.
My brother Mark is
Zoom, it's a slow night, bro.
Toddler son to show him someday how much joy the little tyke is bringing to his life.
It's
at the early
10:30.
stages, you know? And I thought that was so cool that I began writing a series of letters to marijuana. Yeah, in the hopes that someday, somehow, pot will learn to read. The following are my letters to a brand new baggie. July 14th. Hi there. I can't believe you're finally here. I was so nervous during the delivery. When Eric finally placed you in my hands, I cried. You seemed a little light. But when I smoked you, I knew you were special. Dog biting special. Here, little baggie, let me tuck you in. Night, night. Yellow and blue makes green.
Oh God. Hey, welcome in,
July 21st, dude. Over the past week, we have become inseparable, man. We do everything
letter
together.
to a breeding bag, you
concerts, the bank, grandma's house, church. That was a funny funeral, dude. Good shit. July 21st. It was that very same day. Oh!
Cheers.
Oh, my last little bud. That's so sad. That was quick. Well, I guess we both knew this moment was coming, huh? Look at you there in your bowl, all packed and ready to go. But know this, my last little morsel of green sweetness, your essence will live on in my pipe until...
Oh. There, my phone died. Ha! Rip. So, we are here. We were at this spot. I think I might just go ahead and shut it down. It's 10:30. We've been on for literally about 2 hours. And yeah, no one's coming. So I guess yeah. I guess everyone have a good night, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.